Okay, let me take a look at the audio. Looks like the audio's working pretty good. Let me bring up... I think I'll put it over here. I feel like that would probably be better. Nope, don't move that. That. There we go. Let me listen in real quick. Audio. Good. We have audio. So, a lot of the tech tubers have done this, and yes, I am a copycat. I like doing stuff like this, and I've never really been off on a Black Friday weekend prior. So, this is kind of what we're looking for. So, $1,000, including sales tax. I'm at 6% where I live, so definitely your mileage may vary, but we're looking for a tower and a monitor. Peripherals, I'm going to assume you have that. I'm also going to assume that you're hardwiring. And I'm not going to include Windows because while I sell with legitimate copies of Windows for $100, if that's what they want, a lot of my customers will buy it, but will opt to find Windows their own way, and that's up to them. I'm gonna leave that up to you guys as well. So ignore the horrible hair. I've been sick all weekend. So without further ado, let's see. We're actually gonna do this backwards. Let's find the what did I actually name this here? I'm gonna call it 144 hertz, not 1440p. Sorry, my apologies. I was wrong about that. Okay, so let's go back to Black Friday. Let's look at, I believe it's under Home and Office, if I remember correctly. Gaming. Need some monitors. Office Solutions, here we go, monitors. And then we're going to look for 144. So we want 144 hertz. That's what we're looking for. Lowest price. And I believe this one is 180 because my customer just bought this. Yes, 180. Okay, good. I'm actually going to, I'm going to go back. Okay, I'm going to leave this page up. Okay. Next, let's take a look at some cases here. So we want to keep this under, we're going to say 50 to 75, I think is a really good, and then 25 to 50 as well. And let's sort by lowest price. Let's see what we got. I want something decent, so I'm going to avoid a lot of these here. Anything from DIY, not really impressed. I know which case I'm looking for. Not that I'm necessarily against the spec, but I'm not a fan. I don't feel they make, on the low end, that's a really good case. This actually looks pretty cool, but I'm going to keep looking here. Let me see. I am going to just take a really quick look at that Antec case. Let me see if Fantex has anything on sale still. They had the P350 on sale, I believe. It looks like they do not. So, I don't know. I don't feel like this is a really... How much is the RGB variant? I'm not a really big Fantex fan, to be honest. Let's go Corsair and Fractal Design. I think those are some really good options here. I use that case. It's fine. I like it. It doesn't have as much airflow for the system I have as I would like, but it works perfectly fine. You know what? Let's go with... I'm thinking a black Meshify. It says it's mini. Does that mean it's micro ATX? Let me see here. Hold on. That is micro ATX, so we definitely don't want that. Indeed. I think I might have to go Corsair. I'll just have to be careful in the cooler that I pick because I know the Spec 04 does not fit fat coolers. Let me see what this here. I want to take a look at this one. There's a new egg edition. That's not that impressive. Let me see how many fans this has. One front and one rear, that's good. It fits. Okay, so I'm okay with this. It'll fit taller coolers. Yeah, I think this will be fine. We'll add this to the cart. So next, let's go power supplies. I do have WoW open in the background, which I'm actually going to close right now. So let's go lowest price and see what's on the low end. This isn't a bad deal, but I'm going to skip it for now. Actually, that might be the one to go with. That's not a particularly great deal. This is not a good deal. This is the normal price. This might be a good option. Here's what I'm probably going to do. We're going to do this one for now as a placeholder. I have this power supply, and for a mid-range system, I think that's perfectly fine. Okay, memory. We're going to go 16 gigs. And I'm going to try to go for 3000 megahertz because I haven't decided on the CPU yet. Most likely will be Ryzen, but definitely not guaranteed. Lowest price. Okay. These will probably work fine. These are RGB. We have a case that's not very RGB though. Might swap out the case. But they've been making some good memory recently, so... Oh, that's back order. Never mind. Can't do it. Let's go... Yeah, let's just go with these. Let's remove the back ordered one out of my cart. Selected. Okay. Graphics card. I have a pretty good idea where I'm going with this. I'm going to look at 3 cards. That one. That one. And... Oh, they don't have a 590. Okay. That's fine. So, 1440, 144 hertz, 1080p. Quite easy. Don't want to go with the 3 gig model. Definitely not a fan. This is where I'm going right here. Power Color is one of the better AMD card manufacturers. Very good cooling, so we're going to add that to cart. Okay. Darn it. Okay. SSDs. Just keep an eye on where my spending is. I'm going to go 1 terabyte. I'm going to tell you guys why. I'm not going to put a mechanical drive in here. And the reason why is because if this is, I think it's actually cheaper to go mechanical or go all SSD here. Oh God, those prices went up real quick. We don't have 1 terabyte, do we? Let's see. I've used this SSD before, and I have another one coming. It's a budget drive. It honestly is. It's fine for this. So that's what I'm going to buy. What I'm saying is, would I use this in my system? And the answer to that question is yes. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have. We have a case, power supply, RAM, SSD, graphics card, and monitor. So now we need... I guess, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess all we need is CPU board. So we have, oh God, we have a lot of money left over. We might revisit some upgrades here. Okay, maybe not. So I'm 6% sales tax, so we are definitely cutting it close here. So let's go back to Black Friday sale. Let's see what CPUs are on sale. Definitely not getting anything there. That's a good buy. This is also a good buy. But if my math serves me correctly, we can't go this far. So while this might not be... Oh, this is out of stock. Damn. Let's go Ryzen 5 2600. Okay. So this is good. We'll add this. Ooh. No, I'm just going to add this, and then we're going to go back to Black Friday and take a look at motherboards. AMD. Oops. Not home appliances. AM4. Okay. We definitely want either B450 or X470. So let's open this up here. See how much headroom we got. Okay. We're at $842, but 842 with tax. Oops, well, I cannot add the 842 times 1.06. We're just under $900. So we have $100 to spend here. The question is where are we spending it? Now, here's the thing. I am done buying Gigabyte products. Nothing against anybody does, but not only did I just RMA 4 Gigabyte products in 5 weeks, the first time they sent back to me wasn't fixed, and that's a problem. Just leave it at that. And they're now blaming memory. So I want something with a decent amount of I/O. And I'm not liking this board that much. So let's go away from the Black Friday specials. And let's take a look at just B450 boards in general. Here we go. I definitely want to go full ATX if I can. I want something that's going to handle some overclocking and stuff. So let me take a look at this one. How many power phases is this? So I'm thinking this one's probably fine. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. So this has a pretty decent amount. ASRock's making a pretty good board for these guys. Let's take a look at how many fan headers we have. We have 2 there, 2 down there. So ultimately, we could easily do a couple extra fans. So let's add this to cart. Okay. So, we're at $936. Well, it's just my phone going off. Let's add in the 6% sales tax that I pay where I live. 9 times 1.06. We're $993. Let's go to checkout. I'm going to move this over for a second, because I don't know what's going to pop up. I'm going to show this over to you guys here. So, here's the thing. We're at $1,052. The reason why is I want this in standard 3-day. So, but otherwise, it would be fine. Sorry, I don't want you guys to see where I live. No offense. But yeah, so $993 is what this would cost. And when looking at it, we're having, you know, you can definitely get a different case. I just picked one that was good enough. What I am going to do is I'm going to pull the server. I'm going to log out of my account again, because we're missing something that I want to add. Give me 1 second, guys. Go back. Okay, there we go. Let's sign out. Okay, so we're going to revisit the cases again. Did it really just do that to me? Well, it emptied my card. Maybe I do have to stay signed in. Yep, I'll just have to be careful. That's all. Okay, so let's actually go to my cart. Let's remove the case. I'm not particularly... there's something else I want to add, and I'll show you guys in a minute here. So let me Let me do some of the more popular. Oh wait, I can just do it right here. Corsair, Fantex, NZXT, Fractal Design, and we want ATX compatibility. There we go. Okay. Didn't I just add this and it was more expensive? Oh, it's an acrylic window versus tempered glass. Okay. So, let's look at the Focus G here. Oh, wait, that's not really any cheaper. Here we go. Let me look on the back here. Why is shipping so expensive? I need something that's not that expensive on shipping. Or something with free shipping, ideally. Let me look at this one again. Quite a while, to answer your question, how long will the R5 last you? So, I have a video coming out soon. It's the i9 versus the Ryzen 7 2700X. And I think it's a really good video to watch because I think it really brings out, you know, how unrealistic a lot of people are. Especially, like, you know, who cares if you get 3000 FPS here and 200 here if you're running a 144 hertz monitor. So, I think let me see how much Kohler I can fit in here. See, that's the problem. 150 is the max. And that's what I'm trying to add in here, is a CPU Kohler. And I want to say these also have the same problem. Yeah. So, that's shipping now. I'll see if I can trim anywhere else. It's a nice looking case, though. The 200 is probably very similar. Okay, red LED fan, rear exhaust fan. It's not LED. What's actually? Oh, that's a really cool looking version. Oh wow, they even have a blue version. That's interesting. Forget if this can fit taller power supplies or not, or taller. Oh no, that still won't fit it. Damn. Excuse my language, guys. Sorry. I have the Meshify. It's fine, but want something cool with a little bit of RGB flare or something like that. You know what? I'll go with this one. Let me see what my total is here. Okay. 99. Okay, so we still need to trim some money. Could do it on the board, but be very careful if you're ever doing that. I don't think I'm going to find a better deal on this, but let's do that. Let's go. Let's see what the cheapest SSDs we got here that aren't, you know, going to fail after 2 days. Oh, I saw one, but I feel like... Oh, it's not even SSD. It's an SSHD. Okay. So, here's also where I'm going to try. Let's go... Video cards. Where are we at? There we are. But yeah, the Ryzen 5 should last you quite a while. You've been hanging on to it for several years down the road. Is there any of these with additional promo codes? No. So, I don't want to get this one because it's a single fan. The problem with this one is it just doesn't have great reviews. I'd really... let's see what people are saying about it. How long ago was that? That was recently. Okay, rebate issues. Yeah, there's a lot of QC issues with this particular model. So let's go back. Let's see where we're at. We are... Oh, what did I take out? I took out the SSD, didn't I? Yeah. Why? This one. Okay. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It literally went sold out as I tried to add it. Well, that's gonna be a bust. I'm literally gonna have to go $10 more. So the $10 I saved, somebody on the stream probably watched, saw it, and bought it. Great. Alright, the only other place I can potentially trim... Let's look at memory and let's look at board. I think anywhere else is... Oh, well, let's do the free shipping. So... Okay, show more, and then let's do these two, 8 gigs per module, apply. Nope, that's still the slow, okay, so it's gonna have to come out of the board, so we're gonna have to be very careful, very careful. So we definitely go B450. I think this is gonna be it right here, or here, one of these two. I've used the M version of this, and it was fine. I actually don't know even where it's at. I wasn't really a big fan of this at first. Wait, what was this one over here? Okay, this is a micro ATX board though, but see, it doesn't have any cooling up here. That's what bothers me. Supports fast RAM. I like MSI boards. My wife has one. It's not really even cooling anything. Let's go with the other one. It's a little, or no, it's the same price. I really want to go with this one, but for some reason this does not have fantastic reviews. And I actually expected that it would. DOA. Yeah, don't stick with Gigabyte. They're trash. No built-in wireless, bad I/O shield. UEFI is fine. Okay, we'll go with the ASUS board. I'm okay with that. So we just pulled $15 out, so that should be just enough to get a CPU cooler in here. Where would you be at? Oh, fans and cooling. So, tonight, a video is coming out. And it's actually comparing these two CPU coolers, among others. This is the reigning champ from last year. Does well, stay tuned. But I think we're going to do it. Let's go promo code. Wait, how are we? Oh, I need to take the motherboard out. See how much we're over by. Yeah. Move selected. Yes! We did it. So, this system, despite having a Ryzen CPU, okay, for the price, you weren't going to get better with Intel. You can get this CPU up to about 441 roughly. And if you do that, it will not bottleneck you 1080p 1440 or 1080p 144 hertz. So, let's recap. We have decent looking case. I'm cool with it. A board that will support some overclocking. A power supply that is fine for this system, but from a quality standpoint, it's probably a tier 4. If you were looking to get something more power hungry, like a 1080 Ti or a Vega 64, I definitely wouldn't use this. But for this system, I think it probably won't. It should be fine. It's not great, but it's not, you know, you would have to spend a substantial amount of money, like $40 or $50 more, to get something that has a decent quality bump. So you have memory that's going to run at 3000 megahertz. You have a CPU core that'll handle a decent overclock. You have a 1 terabyte SSD. You have a video card that will push the frames, and you have the monitor. Booting monitor. So, I'm not actually buying it. I have too many projects I'm working on right now. I just sold a system very similar to this, actually not for much less, but yeah. So this is good. I like this. I think this will. If anybody's kind of looking for 144 hertz high refresh rate gaming system, I think this is, if you want to spend $1,000 or less, unless you want to buy some used parts, which honestly isn't a horrible idea if you're pretty tech savvy, that would probably be pretty good. And notice this does not include mail-in rebates, and it does include tax to me. So I pay 6% where I live. You know, your mileage may vary, but yeah. So we have done it. You can get 12 months free, interest free, if you can do that. So I'll kind of leave it off in the comments. I might fire World of Warcraft back up, actually. Let me add another display capture here. Oh god, I don't think you guys want to see that. That was kind of trippy. So let me bring OBS back up so you guys can see. There we go. The heck is she wearing? My dog's growling at probably nothing. So yeah, if you got, there's definitely some time left on the stream. If you guys want me to do another build, recommend me the price, and I'd be more than happy to do another build example with the current promotions that were going on. That being said, by no means is you know, are the best deals only coming from Newegg. They definitely can come from Amazon and all sorts of stuff. So, I got an email. It's actually work related, but it says it couldn't. Oh, nothing super exciting. Hey, Crackling. In case you're wondering, I did manage to do a 1440p or 1080p 144 hertz gaming system, including the monitor, for under $1,000 with taxes and most likely shipping, because everything's free shipping. Why? I'm confused. Like, I thought this was not a hostile place. Oh well. Maybe it isn't. I'm just an idiot. Well, getting the heck out of here. No. Oh, damn it. Can't wait till multi-core enhancements come next patch. Honestly, for it to be a good price, it would have to be probably like 30 bucks. I picked up multiple SSDs for less than 35 recently. I'm actually going to switch back to disk. Really? Annoying. I think I'll do an ultra budget build. You know how I like to do those. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do an ultra budget build. Okay, so let me refresh this page here. Let's sign out. Or I'll just clear the cart. First things first, let's go to... We need to get a monitor. We need 1080p. I'm actually going to move this over here so it's out of the way. Okay. So we want 1080p, and then we're going to sort by lowest price. We definitely want something new, and we want something FreeSync. Technology, FreeSync. Doesn't actually add that much of a cost to it, believe it or not. 22. This one's 25. Let's take a look at this. Oh, this is 75 hertz too. It is a TN panel, but we'll go with it. So next we're gonna go. Well, I already know what power supply I'm getting. Same power supply I got in the last one. Make sure I wasn't being attacked there. Yeah, let's buy this refurbished one, shall we? No, not really. We're gonna get that one. We're gonna see what kind of deals we have on some graphics cards as a whole, though. So we're gonna set some parameters here. We're gonna do 2, 3, 4, and 6. We'll do and 8. New. No, paste new. Memory type. GDDR5. 5X. Okay. So we have a couple like GT 710s, not worth it. RX 550 still not worth it. Let's see here. No, I know there has to be. Yeah, because I bought this last night. So we're going to grab this guy. So far so good. We're at 300. So I'm actually going to try to keep this under 600. It's going to be tough. I'm going to go... That's actually not bad. 16 gigs. DDR4. $33. If I can find some 2800, I would be okay with that. But it looks like we're going to this kit again. Go with the processor. I was actually hoping to find this on sale, but that's definitely not the case. Yeah, this is definitely going to be the processor to buy here. Alright, somebody outside. Yes, I hear people outside too. Oh, dude, it's just FedEx. Deliver my SSD. He doesn't know that though. Motherboards. We're gonna go AM4, and then we're just gonna keep it there. Man, I really don't like Gigabyte. Everything cheap is Gigabyte, unfortunately. I mean, I've used this board, but you know, MSI is making good stuff. One fan header, 2, 3 potentially, 3 or 4. Wait, 1. So it looks to be either 3 or 4. So let's go with this one. It will work out of the box, so it's fine. Ooh, we're cutting it close here. So we have power supply, so we need a case. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and storage. This one's going to be tough. So we're just going to go really cheap case that has at least 2 fans. That won't cut your fingers off. I've never used this brand before, but I know some people that have. No, that's a little bit too budget. Come on. Give me something that... Versus a fine case, I use it. I just like with something that looks nice too. I know I'm being overly picky. This actually might be not a bad option. Yeah, I don't like it. I really don't. Deep Cool makes fine stuff. If I remember... I'll probably go with your case before that case, to be honest. Interestingly enough, this has a lot of reviews. Why? I mean, it has 3 fans. It looks fine. It's micro ATX. Sure, we'll buy it. I mean, it looks fine. I don't really see a problem with it. Alright, so let's take a look here. Oh, wait, I'm over. Gosh darn it. How am I over? I still need an SSD, but... Alright, we're making this a $700 build. That's the only justification I can come to. Cause that will allow me to make a couple changes here. SSD. No, the deep cool one's fine. I've used it before. There's no issues with it. Let's go 480, 500, 512, and the 525 because that's usually crucial. Supposedly these silicon power ones are fine. I'm shocked to say it, but people have said they're fine to purchase. So, dude, I put 1 terabyte SSDs in $400 builds. Okay, and then where does that put us at? Perfect. My dog is licking himself to death. Okay. Apply. And there she is. $698.44. That gets you the following. Okay looking case, a decent board, decent power supply, 16 gigs of RAM, an overclockable quad core with a good CPU core to go with, a 500 gig SSD, and a good video card. So this has a 75 hertz FreeSync monitor. This should deliver this kind of system. This is only going to work well if you're going to overclock this a little bit. Not much. I'd try it at 3.8, 3.9 if you can. And if you can do that, you should be able to play any game anywhere from high to very high settings at that 75 FPS area. So this would be the perfect, like, even if you want to stream Fortnite, it should be fine. But you'd be able to play all the games out there. So that's kind of what this would be for. Now it's time for the ultra budget. You know I love these systems so much. We're going to... Let's get our power supply first. This is where we're going to cut as many possible corners as humanly possible without building a time bomb, essentially. So, obviously, we're going with this power supply again because, I mean, literally, you cannot get a better power supply for that price. I get my... Oh, no, okay, I thought I was getting my crap kicked in. Lowest case. Price case. That works. I'm probably going to pull the trigger on something like this. Actually, I want to go monitors. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's home and office. Got lowest price. Oh, God. Does it get really low? Oh, there it is up top. I'm going to want it to be FreeSync if possible. Adaptive sync. Yes. This is right here. So we're doing this monitor. This next part's very important. You need to understand what kind of inputs it has. I just ran into that the other day, and I had to eat a little bit of money because of it. Interestingly enough, it says 60 hertz, but yet it's actually 75 hertz. Does it say that? Yeah, it is. That's weird. And how I know is because the vertical and horizontal refresh rate are both over 75. Okay, HMI sub. So that's what we need for the board. We're going to go with the 2200G again, because the 2400G I don't think is on sale. see what we got so far. We also need to figure out how big of a CPU cooler this can fit. Oh wow, that'll fit the Gamma Max and everything. Wait, where did the EVGA 500 VR go? Don't tell me it went out of stock. Oh. So we're going to go with the Gamma Max 400 again. Wait, I saw something that was interesting. I like how the refurbished one's more expensive than the new one. Oh, it's already applied. Okay, so just note that we already are incurring some shipping charges. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 2 more things we need to buy. That's going to be tough to decide on. Can I trim anywhere yet? No. I bought that SSD, but apparently it's not very good. But I bought it because it was the only one that was under 40 bucks at the time. Actually, you know what? This might not be all for naught. Ooh, this would be close. This last thing, I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me on. Oh, I don't even have a motherboard yet. Damn. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna have to go a different route. But that's perfectly fine. Okay. Yeah, I do not have a motherboard in the system yet. So we overspent somewhere. I'm going to say there. I think we can not go with the CPU cooler for this. So we definitely need a micro ATX board. And don't tell me I have to go with Gigabyte again. I don't want to go with Gigabyte. Okay, I'm going to cave. I'm going to go with Gigabyte for this one. Okay. Damn, we went over still. Okay. I don't really see anywhere else to trim, guys. I mean, I maybe a hard drive instead. As good of a deal as that monitor is, let's see if we can find a better deal. We won't be able to find FreeSync though, I don't believe. Which kind of stinks. But it is what it is. What the heck is this? It's like some really out there off-brand bull crap. Man, are we giving up a lot going to this, though. Oh, man, you're giving up so much. Yeah, I know. I'm getting rid of the monitor, man, but Okay, this is better. Man, save $10 just to give up all that. It's the shipping that's killing us. What is causing the shipping? Ah, it's the case. Okay. Let's find a different case. I don't know, man. I mean, I mean, obviously, yeah, I could get it under $400 without a monitor. There's no doubt about that. But, oops. We want something with free shipping. That's a really compact case. The T4 is even more compact, if I remember correctly. Ah, thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry, my dog's trying to notify me that there's somebody out front. This will still put us over, though, even though it's free shipping. I really don't want to choose one of the Zalman cases. They're too compact. Ah, man, I don't know if I can do it or not. See, these all have shipping too. Alright, let's see where we're at now. $1.68 over. Gotta be kidding me. Alright, let's go with the sketchy SSD. I probably do, but meh. Let me. What is that? What is this all about? No, it's not off the whole order. It's just off of that. Okay. Okay. $398.50 with taxes. Oh, hi. And nothing is super cringe, though. The only thing I would really like to change is this monitor. It's not a bad monitor, but we left $10 on the table for a monitor. So what this build would do is mostly 1080p low and 720p medium, most likely, but it'll get the job done. But if you needed, with a monitor, a $400 build with tax, shipped to your door, this is basically what I would go with. So Okay, so what build would be next? I'm gonna change this at 1.4 hertz. These really RGB. Like, this is actually a thing. No. RGB power supplies apparently are a thing. Problem, though, is I'm not a big thermal take fan. To be honest, I don't think they make really the best quality units. Does anybody make it outside of thermal take? Probably not. That's crazy. I feel like, if I remember correctly, their tough power are actually not bad. I don't think their smart is that good. So we're gonna do some crazy shit. So I know this exists. So I almost bought one. Yeah, there's actually a couple different brands that make it. God, that's a lot of money for a 1 terabyte SSD. You're paying a lot of money just for it to be RGB. I'm just going to do some crazy stuff now. Unless, obviously, if I have any build requests, since there are quite a few of you guys in the lobby here. Oh, that's not good to know. I'll definitely take a look at that. Now that's a little bit too ludicrous. I'll just settle with the 500 gig. Oh, wow. That was a good deal. Too bad it sold out. Indeed it is. And let's do some RGB DDR4. But let's not go over the top though. Let's actually be realistic. Those are back ordered. Oh, that's an 8 gig kit. Antec makes memory. Did not know that. Here we go. Gotta love me some G-Skill. You definitely need an RGB graphics card. No doubt about that. I feel like Gigabyte, as much as I hate their products right now, are the ones that would have that. Boy, is that a lot of money for that card. Yep, let's go do it. Why not? We have a Strix B450 board. Yeah, I knew this one existed already. Let's add that. We're going to go with 2700X because that has an already included RGB cooler. Which, oh, mine's gone, that's right. And now we have to find, actually, you know what? I know exactly which one to get. Corsair RGB Newegg. I think this is... It's got Corsair, computer cases. There you go. Got to get that Newegg edition. So, you know, Cracklink made a really, really good point. Is how much you spend for RGB. And, wait, oh, that's interesting. Good to know. Thanks for letting me know, Martin. Is how much of this system are we paying for an RGB tax, right? So, let's see. Let's bring up some Microsoft Excel here. So, what is the CPU, memory, case, power supply. We already have RAM, SSD, graphics card. How many things are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm missing one. I have 6 right now. I have SSD, processor, memory, motherboard. Okay. So, in the RGB build, we have $320 for the CPU, memory is $130, case is $150, power supply is $80, SSD is $125, GPU is $370, $380, excuse me, and $123. Probably move out of the way here. Okay. So in total, I'm working on an Excel sheet off screen, by the way. Before tax, it's $1,380. Now the CPU is going to be the same price. That, I mean, okay. No, let's go this route. Let's go Ryzen 7 2700. That's fair. Wow. Okay. Because it's virtually the same CPU, just not quite as been with the RGB cooler. Good. We already know memory is 103. Let's take a look at the case here. The Spec Omega, which is literally the same case, just different fans, is $75. Power supply. There should be EVGA G3 750. Or let's go G3 750 and see if that's any cheaper. Come on. So 100, and let's go. Well, here, I'll just do that. So this would be a very good comparison. This is probably slightly better unit. So this is $68. I'm pretty sure we can get a 1 or 500 gig SSD for much less. In fact, there's one for $64 right there. That's a decent one. Well, let's stick with the decent one. Let's go $65. Okay, we have a GTX 1070. Well, here's actually what I want to do. I want to compare this one. Look at its clock speeds real quick. So it's... That's weird. Oh, okay. Okay, so 1860 is the speed. So let's see if we can get one with similar speeds for much less. So we have a Zotac Mini here. That's actually a TI. So that we're just going to put there because that has far more stream processors, or CUDA cores. And then motherboard, B450. Yeah, I know. Let's go full ATX. This board's fine. We'll say 115. So not a lot of RGB tax there. I mean, logic would say we could go for one of these boards, but so now I'll show you guys my screen here in a second. This is how much the RGB tax has costed us. $282 to get RGB. Now, it's not a direct, fair comparison, but I will show you things that are. The power supply. That definitely you had to pay extra for RGB. Right here, you had to pay extra for RGB too. That was ludicrous. So I would go to say these right here, definitely 100%. The CPU core, or the CPU itself, is a little bit of a far-fetched because you can, and actually I'm going to make this fair, a little bit more fair. We're going to do the same CPU, and we're going to do a $35 MA410P, because that's an RGB cooler. So I think that's a little bit more fair. But logic would say you get a Hyper 212 Evo, that's $30. There we go. So this is the actual RGB tax. It's $217. But let's actually take a look at what's important. So you spend extra money on the cooler, which if you guys watch my video tonight, the Hyper 212 Evo versus the RGB variant, there's some really interesting results about that. But I would honestly go the Hyper 212 Evo. You're definitely spending on the memory right here. You're getting nothing. Same thing with the power supply, same thing with the SSD. Okay, so these three things, definitely, these two and then that one. The case, there's actually an argument to be made. And the reason for that is because it's coming with the LL120 fans, I believe, or the ML. And it comes with 4 of them. So, yeah, it's the LL120. So these fans are like $35 by themselves. So you're getting 4 of them, which that would be $140. They're very good fans. Yes, you can get a cheaper fan. That works very close, but you're still getting a very good fan. So this is the one where it can kind of go either way. Yeah, it's $70 more, but you are getting 3 really high quality fans. 4 rather, versus the Spec Omega that comes with 2 fans. And they're, I can tell you what they are in a second here. I need a good picture of the back. No, they don't give me one. Those might be SPs. They're definitely more static pressure. But it's not as bad because $75 of that is right here. Okay, where you're paying it is the memory, the power supply, the SSD. Now these 2 things you generally aren't getting RGB of. RGB is generally going to be the fans, the cooler, the GPU, and the memory. And yeah, so the GameX 400 does go up against the 212. That video is not out, is it? It shouldn't be out till tonight. I mean, if it is, it is, but let me see here. So the name of the video that's coming out tonight is the Budget Cooler Showdown winner GameX 400 Dethroned. the Hyper 212 Evo and company are taking a shot. So there's actually 5 CPU coolers, and it took about 8 hours to actually do this video. So it took a lot. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. But they are going head to head. The MA410P's making its first debut. The IceBlade 200M and the Wraith Prism are all involved in this one. So it's definitely pretty good. But you guys need to help me get to 1,000 subs so I can actually start making money again. Yeah, I don't make money, unfortunately, on this stuff. But yeah, I mean, RGB, I did it before. Here, I'll show you my system. Okay, so, apparently my webcam's only 720p. This is my current system now. So I have a Vega 64. I have a Cryorig R1. I still have the RGB run in the background. It's not intentional. I'm just running Fractal Design fans all the way through and then out the back. I'm happy with this. RGB was cool for a little bit, and I can RGB my graphics card as well, but I like the compact case. It doesn't, unfortunately, vet heat as well as I would like, but it does it really well for being a compact case. So, here, case in point here. So I have Wild Run in the background, as you guys know. So I'm going to open this here. Of course, you guys don't want to see me in my giant head. CPU sitting at 58 degrees, hitting about 4 gigahertz. GPU sitting at 72. The reason why GPU is sitting at 72, I don't have MSI Afterburner on. So now the fans are kicking up a little bit. And it's funny because I actually almost sold my Vega because it was running so hot. It was hitting 70 degrees, and I'm freaking out. And yeah, right now, the better value is the Gamax 400. But that's only if you're just buying a CPU cooler. Here, I have an interesting chart to show you guys here. Let me get my file system here. W videos. So you're going to see this. This is a really interesting chart. So the red is, or the orange is performance versus the leader. So which one performed the best overall? The yellow is total system cost plus the cooler. The cheapest being the IceBlade. That's why the orange, or that's why this one's at 100%. And this one was actually, or these two were the closest, right? So then I averaged those two together and got these results. So the red is total system cost versus performance. And we're using about $830 or $40 system. So at the time, the Gamax 400 was a little bit more expensive. But it was actually cheaper, still cheaper than these were. So, yep. Yeah, definitely. Now, the Gamax 400 actually, and this is for people that are watching this now, actually didn't win. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. Here, I'll show you guys my work here. So, yeah, let's move all these charts out of the way. So the Gamax 400 had an average temperature of 73 degrees. That is including ambient, not over ambient. So the only test I considered was this one, which is Cinebench multi-core, ran 3 times. You can see I actually did adjustments for ambient temperature at 20 degrees. And then that averaged 65 degrees. Intel burn test at 76 degrees. And then the ADATA 64 full test, stressing CPU and GPU. So its peak was 86, its sustain was 76, which is the number that I used for the testing. So it is a fantastic value. What I would go to say is if somebody was going to buy a CPU cooler right now, get it. If somebody was building a system and buying a CPU cooler as well, go the Hyper 212 Evo. That's kind of my recommendation, because when you're comparing $850 and $860, it's irrelevant. But when you're comparing $16 and $30, then it becomes relevant. I didn't want to do that particular comparison, because then, like, for example, the Wraith Prism already did horrible because it actually cost $75 to purchase outright, and it performed the second worst, right? So I didn't want to do that comparison because the results didn't look realistic. But I'm kind of under the impression, and I could be wrong, that most people, when they purchase a cooler, might be at the point of sale when they build, because they're not a very expensive thing. So that's why I kind of did it that way. But yeah, these are my tests. So, but yeah, like I said, if you're in the market for a cooler right now, GameMax 400, it's not even worth spending the extra $15 because you're going to be buying other things most likely. I would go with it. It's a and the other thing, the GameMax 400, really easy installation. As Crackling Ice has mentioned, the Hyper 212 and the MA 410P, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it really sucked. It really did. I was not a fan. So I really wish I would have tested my CPU to get different scores at stock, but you know, no harm, no foul. So, indeed. Back to Warcraft for a little bit. I'm going to switch back over to Discipline. God, need to go up there. Do I not have any flights up there? That sucks. Yeah, I mean, Cooler Master's really good at most of what they do. Where they don't do well is most of their power supplies are not fantastic. They do have a couple that are pretty good, but most of them are not good. They're not good value. Their cases, some of them are fantastic. Some of them are utter garbage, like the Masterbox Lite. Mid-range CPU cooler, I'm getting a Scythe. I'm going to have to remember what that looks like. Interesting. I feel like this would actually be a really good option as well. Doesn't say what's rated up to though. So what I use is the R1 Universal. So this thing is giant. It's the Universal is compatible with RAM, high profile RAM. I need to turn that heatsink. It's actually slightly crooked, but Cryorig makes really good stuff. I think the H7's pretty solid too. Yeah, here we go. Honestly, oh wow, this is double-sided. I'm going to assume that they're not both facing the same way. Yeah, okay, yeah, they're not. So I would actually say, I would actually give this cooler a shot. If you can, if it fits in your case. It needs, oh wow, this is interesting. So it's only 145 millimeters tall. So that's actually something really interesting. No, they're 120. So the total height's 145 though. Now that being said, I've heard a lot about Scythe. I just have never used them. That's my only thing. So something like this looks pretty solid though. I mean, I've seen this one around a little bit. The Ninja. Man, that is just a really fat cooler though. Oh, it goes up and down. Yeah, see, I wouldn't want that personally. I think, I know, what is it? This looks solid. I think, so it's good on height, so it'll fit in cases that are 150 millimeters. You'll probably have some RAM clearance though, so just keep that in mind. So that's something that I would be very cautious of. But yeah, Scythe, from what I've seen, has made fine products. Man, that's a really long cooler. Back to WoW. Hungry, I gotta start getting dinner on pretty soon. I think I'll be home like an hour and a half. Yeah, there's been, if you guys ever read the comments, there's some people that like made fun of me and because I'm overweight, and I mean it is what it is, you get trolls all the time. But seriously, we are losing. I've lost about 20 pounds so far. I have a lot to lose. I'm probably another 80. But just for health reasons, I've not felt very good for a long time. So I think it's time that I lose weight. To do so, drastically reducing carbohydrate intake. And I cook. I love to cook. I love cooking from scratch. I like making my own recipes. So, I mean, today's not making my own recipe. It's just Italian sweet sausage with peppers and onions. But like I make my own pizza crust. I make my own breaded chicken. Use crushed pork rinds and like garlic powder and garlic salt and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I like doing stuff like that. Make your own mozzarella sticks. You basically get string cheese. You make your egg wash. You get almond flour and you crush up pork rinds for breading, and then you just oven them, and they taste fine. I've never actually done them. A friend of mine has them, but yeah. So just some things I'm working on here. Oh, I have a passed out border collie behind me. I will actually stop here for a second and show you said border collie. Oh. There he is. Gina, you're on camera. Who's here? I'm kidding, G. Nobody's here. I'm sorry. He usually sleeps behind me while I'm playing. Or if he's super tired, he'll go into the bedroom and just sleep. He goes to daycare a lot. Multiple times a week, so 4 times a week, so he's tired. Yes, we take our dog to daycare. We're that special. Yeah, here's the thing. Going to the gym, so I have a friend of mine, he's actually a fitness instructor. He's one that's helped me along the way for a lot of things. You have to have some serious activity, either home gym or going to a gym or whatever, to get any kind of results, and it heavily relies on eating right, which is keep your carbohydrate intake at a level that you're burning and things like that. And the problem is, and I'm going to make an excuse, and it is what it is, but I get up at 6:30. We leave at 7. We drop Gino off at daycare. We get home at 7 o'clock. It takes me an hour and a half, anywhere between 45 minutes to we'll say half hour to an hour and a half to cook and get dinner. By that time, it's 8:30. I don't have enough time in my life to allocate towards the gym. That's the reality of it. And I don't have the funds to start spending money on gym equipment. I'd rather spend on computers and doing this stuff. The most important thing is the diet and getting your food intake, however you want to do it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been proven that when you intake a lot of carbohydrates and don't burn them, they store in the fat, and that's how people gain weight. That's the reality of it. There's a lot of ways to lose weight. You can do calories, because naturally you'll reduce your food intake as a whole, right? So that's the honest thing, is that right now it's just not feasible. Get the weight down, get into the routine, get your food intake right. And then the other thing is, you have to literally, if you cannot commit 1 hour a day, minimum 5 days a week, then you're wasting your time. You burn so little calories, like I know you shouldn't just do a treadmill, but so many people do. On a treadmill for an hour, burns, I don't know, 150, 200 calories max. Just not worth it. You have to do weight training. You have to stress your muscles to the point where you're constantly forcing them to rebuild. And, you have to rotate your workouts. You can't just do legs. You have to rotate. There's a lot of things involved with it. And, so, but the thing is that it's not even about switching up my food and getting down and then changing it. It has to do with, trying to, right now we're keeping our carbohydrates to 60, right? That will probably change a little bit as time goes on. but maybe 80 to 100, right, once we get down. But that's how the life has to be going forward, is you have to keep, you know, your carbohydrate intake at that level, or else you're going to gain it all back. So, but yeah, and the funny thing is that for the first couple of days you get hungry. Like, I'm hungry right now. I'm not like super hungry, but I'm hungry. But that's because my body has now been trained that since there's really no carbohydrates to burn, it's now going to try to burn fat, stored fat, as energy. So you do get hungry, but you don't get like, I need to eat. Like, legit, I haven't eaten today. That's not good, I get that, but I haven't really eaten today. I think I had a ice cream cone that had a lot of sugar alcohol in it. Okay. Oh, oops, I accidentally did this and not realize it. Sweet. To true. Yeah, that's another thing a lot of people don't realize is when you are working out, and this is why, unfortunately, and I'm sorry, it's rude, it's pretty sexist from my understanding, but why women don't lose weight, and that is they go to the gym and they get on the treadmill, and you'll lose some weight. But then what ends up happening is, you know, when you start on the treadmill, your muscles start to work, and then you start getting these micro tears because you're stressing them much harder than what they're normally capable of handling. And then you lose a little bit of weight. And then what happens is your body then repairs those muscles, and you're doing the same thing. And now your body's used to it. Yeah, you are strengthening your muscles, but you're not. Ooh, I'm honored. You're not causing them to have to be rebuilt. So your body's not naturally burning the calories, just trying to repair the muscles. So what you have to do is you not only have to change up your workout, you not only change out the weight, you have to change out how you're working out. So stress your muscles differently, so they constantly are in a rebuilding process. But you have to rotate through your different muscles, upper body, lower body, legs, because if you keep just damaging them, then they're not going to heal right, and then you have a problem, and then you're out longer, and it's not good. So there's a lot involved with that. But yeah, that's why strength training is so important. And contrary to popular belief, women can't build just big muscles without a crap ton of protein and, in most cases, testosterone injections. They can't build bulky muscles like that. That just doesn't really happen. So, you know, that's why it's important to do, like I said, you have to do the strength training. You have to switch it up. You have to constantly be working different parts of your muscles, because the healing process of the muscles is what burns more calories than anything else. And it burns it while you're sleeping, which is fantastic, right? So, yeah, I have somebody that taught me all this, and I understand it pretty well. I just don't do it. But he even said, it's like, you probably can't even go to the gym or work out because your body's going to hurt. You have to get your weight to a good level before you actually take a look at doing, you know, the gym and working out and stuff like that. Let me go here. Oh, I think, was it you, Martin Luther, that said you hadn't bought your CPU yet? Yeah. Have you come up with an idea for that yet? Hold on. Oh, this is 8 hours. Darn it. Oh, that was David Roberts, or David M. Roberts. Okay. Gotcha. So, you guys want a sneak peek on my i9 versus Ryzen 9? I think I actually have it here. I do. But you guys have to tell me that you want it first. Yeah, it's kind of like the girl that says, tell me I'm pretty kind of thing, right? This couldn't hurt. I'll do a random group. I'm getting a 1440p 144 hertz monitor like next couple days, so. In fact, I have a couple things that were delivered today, I think. Just the SSD was delivered. Oh, come on. I want a little bit more enthusiasm than that from just one of the 4 people watching. Oh. Wait, what screen are you guys looking at here? Okay. For some reason, YouTube was somewhere else. How is this upside down? That's interesting. There we go. Never actually been here before. Well, after this instance, I'll show it, because I probably want to focus on what the heck I'm doing. What, you think I want my kicks pumped up? You know? They're really just... Oh, I'm an idiot. What item level am I? 342, okay. Know the song Pumped Up Kicks? Yeah, I was trying to be funny. Do I have some kind of VSync on or something? Interesting. Okay, yeah, I didn't think I did. So I'm running a 4K, so... I feel like this guy has to be a boss. Probably pay attention to what I'm doing. I like playing Disc Priest. Just a very interactive spec altogether. There we go. Possibly the most overpowered attack of all time. Gotta love that Holy Nova. Okay. I'm actually curious what my usage is like right now. So I'm right around... See, my usage still isn't that high even though I'm streaming. And I'm sitting... I topped out like 67 degrees even while streaming, so... I have a GI tract infection and it hurts every now and then, like really bad cramps. And yes, my wife has already taken the opportunity to make a lot of jokes regarding that, including throwing a bottle of Midol at me. Still waiting for that one to hit the chat. I want to pull the other crocodile, but I've never done this dungeon, so I'm thinking to myself, they're probably keeping that alive for a reason. Not entirely sure. Yeah, okay, so gastroenteritis, it's some sort of bug. It could be stomach flu or whatever have you, right? But they weren't. Yeah, the funny part is like, it's not like I'm throwing up and I don't have a fever. I had a fever like the first day. It's just stomach pain, and obviously food doesn't stick in my body very long, but it's pretty much all that's really going on. I mean, obviously you can tell it's not prohibiting me from streaming, so I've worked every day except for Thanksgiving, so. I am also avoiding doing my paper too, but you didn't hear that from me. I don't think my professor watches my streams. I'm actually graduating soon. May. Yeah, I'll be graduating in May. With my master's in information systems, nonetheless. So you can say I'll be a master of something. I don't know. All I know is I'm not the one paying for it. Oh, you mean double quarter pounder last night wasn't the right option? Whoops. Could have sworn that was the right one. No, I've not really been concerned about what I'm eating since I've been sick. I'm like, well, I'm still losing weight, so yeah. But we're going back on the bandwagon tonight. And that's actually something my wife asked me. We having French fries? No, sorry. She just want to strangle her sometimes. I love her, but she's like, but I want this, I want that. Well, then you can't eat it. I'm sorry. And then we have it once. We have something like that once a week, and then she wants it every day. It's like, no. It's the point of having one cheat day, so you can't eat your French fries. Well, I make pizza, but the crust is made out of cheese. Interestingly enough, or the dough, I guess would be a better way of putting it. all the computers that I build and sell, I'm actually going to put videos on YouTube about them, but I'm going to have them listed as anything unlisted, because I don't want to flood my channel with sales. It's not what the channel's for. But if you ever stumble across it, that's why you can't see it. Or that's why it's not showing up on the channel. Not a big fan of yogurt, unfortunately. Maybe with some fruit. I love fruit. That's the only downside with low carbs is I have to watch my fruit intake. I'm still running a 4K. You know what? I've noticed I'm not getting the single core boost that I was getting before. Either I adjusted something on the BIOS or something, but I think I'm just going to re-overclock to 4.1. That's where I had it running before. I'm a dumbass. Yeah, I kind of have Mass Dispel. I mean, that's essentially what that's for. It just has a long-ass freaking cooldown. We still haven't gotten to the second boss yet. Jeez, this is a big-ass instance. And that's not even a boss. It doesn't look like. Nope. Ugh. Holy crap, I've been live for almost 2 hours. I think I'll cut it at the 2-hour marker if I finish this instance first. Do I have to spell magic? I do. Not recently. I have played StarCraft 2 a fair bit in the past. I wasn't necessarily great at it. Warcraft 3. I played some stuff way back in the day too, but I feel like it was like Command and Conquer or something like that. But that's the only downside though is RTS games like StarCraft. While they do perfectly fine on Ryzen, Intel will just literally just walk all over AMD with those setups. Why do I think that was going to hit a lot harder than what it did? I feel like we should stop him from doing this. I mean, I could be wrong. I used to play a fair bit of GTA 5. That game actually you miss a little bit. I play with a lot of friends. Hey, we actually killed another boss. One game I'm really excited for, and if you're a Warcraft fan, you could appreciate it. I'm waiting for Warcraft 3 Reforged. That's definitely going to be a good game. Never played Civ, but I've built a couple computers for people to play Civ. I generally, in those scenarios, go with the fastest processor I can for their budget. Because those games they just require so much single-threaded performance. Yeah, it's the only game that I've played consistently throughout the years. I mean, I don't, unfortunately, get to play it all the time. A few hours a night, if that. And I mean a few. Like, it's rare if I put in more than 2 or 3 hours in any given night. And there's definitely time periods where I don't. Like, when I wasn't feeling great, so I didn't really play much. I think I will, he didn't play GTA 5 either, jeez. I think I'm going to do like a quick world boss for anybody that actually cares, because world bosses like kill the frame rate pretty bad. I don't know what Dragon's up today, but yeah, I mean, I'm only playing because I actually have some buddies that have returned, and we've all been playing together, so it's kind of, wow. You really, next you're going to say you never played like Pokemon Stadium or GoldenEye 007 or Mario Kart or Mario 64 or, well, we got Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, I played all those games as a kid. I didn't do nearly as much damage as I thought it would. Yeah, and the only reason why I benchmark the games I do is because I have a built-in benchmark. And it's not out of laziness, it's out of consistent reporting. So the problem is when if you run a benchmark, and like, for example, WoW is probably the most impossible game to benchmark. Like, it's damn near impossible. And the reason why is because you can have different characters performing different spells at different ranges from you. And it makes it very difficult to get a consistent result. And somebody had said to me once, well, why don't you do 3 runs each? I said, well, here's the problem with that. 3 runs each, do you realize that to get into a raid, which is generally what you're going to want to test, they're not instant. You know, if you're even going to do looking for raid, it could take anywhere from 10-15 minutes per. And then what happens to the raid composition is different. What happens if you're doing 5-minute runs, because that's how long a certain boss fight lasts, but somebody screws up and then triggers, you know, the second phase again, like it goes first phase, second phase, first phase, second phase, and so now you might have to experience a part of the game that happens 3 times in that period of the normal period of time versus twice. And that particular part is a lot more graphical intensive. that's why it's so hard to benchmark something that doesn't have just a built-in benchmark. I think that guy just shot me. You didn't like Mario Kart? Like, for real, for real? Mario Party was a lot of fun. I played a lot of that. There was a motocross game I used to play. Okay, understood. Misread what you wrote. Yeah, I mean, Mario 64, I liked it, but you can definitely take it or leave it. Should probably, like, I don't know, disarm that maybe? No? Okay. Super Smash Bros. Definitely played a lot of the first and second. A game I used to play a lot of, but I haven't played in a while, and I'm kind of mad because I'm probably really out of date. Hearthstone. I was a big Magic Gathering player when I was younger. I had retired after I was too old to compete at the junior series. It really reminded me a lot of my Magic days and stuff like that. My mentor actually just retired from Magic from the Pro Tour, interestingly enough. I don't know if I'm supposed to actually carry this outside or not. Damn it. That's funny. Ah, that's why they do what they do. I believe that's about the time that I started. Oh God. I don't think that's better. Magic the Gathering. It's a trading card game. I remember Wizards of the Coast. Definitely one of my more favorite games going back has been, I like Pokemon Stadium a lot. That brought a game to a somewhat more 3D level that was otherwise two-dimensional. outside of, you know, the cartoon itself. Oh wow, death toll from California fires are up in the 80s now. Jeez. So for anybody that just joined, I did about 3 or 4 different builds. You'll have to unfortunately rewind to see them, but I did like a really crazy RGB build. I did a super budget build, a $700 build, and I did that $1,000 build first, actually. Oh. If I remember correctly, my brother's Nintendo, I was Sega, and then we got an Xbox. Then after Xbox, I went computer. I mean, I had an Xbox One, or I had a 360, and we actually did have 2 Xbox Ones at one point, me and my wife, and then I just got rid of it because it made no sense. I have 2. We actually gave it to her dad for Christmas 1 year. Let's see what I got in my bag. Really? I don't know why I bothered doing this. My first computer that I personally had was a Tech Media with, I forget what processor it was. It might have been a Pentium 1, but it was overclocked from 120 to 166 megahertz. Now, that was the first computer we had as a family. And my folks gave it to me when they upgraded to a Pentium 3 500. Then I got upgraded to a Pentium Pro, which was a Pentium 2 with a ton of like cache. It had more cache than Pentium 3's had on the second level, and because of that, it performed stupidly well in a lot of modern applications. So that was my second system. After that, me and my brother both got Pentium 3s. And then I moved up to like a 1.6 single core, a 2.4, a 3.0, a 3.0 hyper-threading, and then like a 2.0 dual core. Then I had a Q6600, then I had E8400, don't ask why. And then I had an, Q6600, i7 970, or i7 920, i7 870, E8400 for a short period of time. Then I went to i7 2600K. Then I went i5 4690K, i7 4790K. Then I went Ryzen 7 1700, Ryzen 7 1700X, Ryzen 5 1600, and now I have a Ryzen 7 2700X. That is the order of processors that I've had. Would you like me to go graphics cards because it's much longer? Yeah. I've made a handful of decisions that weren't very, very wise financial decisions. Sure, I got a graphics card. This only as far back as I remember, so I'm definitely skipping a bunch. MX440, FX5200, FX5950, 6800 Ultra, 8600, 9600, these are all NVIDIA GT, 9800 GT, GTX 260, GTX 480. Okay, this is where it gets confusing. HD 7950, 950, GTX, no, R9 290, GTX 780, R9 290X, GTX 780, GTX 970, 970 SLI, 980 Ti, Vega 64, 1080, RX 580, Vega 64. I believe that was the order of what I got everything. And I'm not kidding you. That is 100% accurate. Everything from the 2600K and the GTX 480 on was stuff that I bought. Prior to that was something my dad bought for me, either with my money or whatever have you. I still have to go up one. AMD was super competitive until Bulldozer. When Intel went from its, I guess that's Nihilum. Hold on a second. LG 1860. 6 chipset. Bloomfield. When Intel went from Bloomfield to Sandy Bridge and AMD went from their second-gen Phenom to Bulldozer, that's when AMD got screwed. They went all in on more cores without good pipeline efficiency within the pipeline, and that's also they had no focus on the per core performance. And when that happened, the software, they thought the software would develop in the next couple of years, and to this day it still hasn't. Single threaded is still very important, but it doesn't scale super well outside of like StarCraft 2 and World of Warcraft. As you'll see, oh, here, I promise to show you guys my results here. Dun 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 dun. I'm just kidding here. Okay, so this is what we got here. So Ryzen Tomb Raider max settings 1440p, no motion blur, dead even. This is with the 1080 Ti. 1440p max settings, AA motion blur off. There's actually a sizable difference, 20 FPS, 18%. 1440p very high because extreme, they both tied pretty much, and it went like 60. Small increase, we're going to call it 6%. For Honor, max settings 1440p, nearly a margin of error. ASUS is singularity, less than 10%. Final Fantasy 15, oh god, that's like nothing. Time Spy, 20%. Single thread performance, 20%. Multi-core performance, like 10. So this is what I did. I did total system cost, and I did overall performance. So you guys can see my formulas essentially. So it performed essentially average 10% behind. So the amount of dollars you spend per frame, you spend more money on Intel, and this is with the same. This is with my friend's system. Comparing the board and the CPU. So basically, the too long didn't read is there's no reason for gaming that a 9900K should be purchased. Because, as you see, 1440p, the GPU is still going to be a limiting factor in most cases. At 1080p, both of them are going to exceed 144 frames per second. The minimums on Ryzen were just about the same as the i9. There's really not a place where you're going to see a real-world difference in performance. That being said, if you're Adobe, believe it or not, 9900K absolutely destroys the 2700X. With QuickSync in the nearly 5 gigahertz cores, i9 all the way. It's not a bad buy. It's just, if you don't have the extra $400, it's just not worth it unless you are doing professional content. My stomach's killing me right now. Ugh. The entire AM3 Plus platform was a major failure. Let's you know, call a spade a spade. You know, I like Ryzen not because I like AMD. I mean, I have an AMD graphics card, $500, great buy. It's a triple fan Sapphire card. Absolutely, I know. Everybody does know that, but it is what it is. Intel obviously paid Adobe, and they're in bed with Adobe. There's no doubt about it, but they are, and that's the reality, and I don't complain about it. My Ryzen 7 chip does absolutely fantastic in Adobe. The 9900K does better. The 9900K actually outperforms Threadripper in some cases. The 9900K is a fantastic chip to buy, 100%. The 2700X is not a better chip. It's by no means that my chip will never outrun a 9900K in like any application. The problem is a decent board that has enough power phases, because a lot of those boards only have a 4+1 for the CPU. That's the problem. You need at least a 6. You need at least a 5+1. Preferably, I use a 6+2 for my customer. When you don't have a budget and you want to get the best without being ludicrous, then 100% that chip is awesome. That's why I did it for him. But you know, it's all about the realistic performance and where you should spend your money, and that's why I like my 2700X. But I'm not like a big AMD shill. Like I'm biased towards AMD because they make, I think, the best products in the market when it comes to CPUs. They're priced really well. They perform across the board really well. There's very little issues with the platform as a whole. You know, and they've been very successful with all the builds that I've worked on the last year or two. You know, most of my builds I've done have actually been for content creators, and they're not, with the exception of my one customer, most of them are on a budget. And I mean, like, we're talking like less than $1,000. And to do content creation with Intel, you're going to at least want an 8700. And when I say their budgets are $1,000, we're talking monitors, keyboard, speakers, mouse, Windows. And I'm not going to go with gray market Windows for customers. I don't do that. If they want to do it, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I do it for my system, but that's because I changed my system so much. I changed my motherboard so much. I'm not going to pay it. You know, but I'm not going to do that for my customers, though. If they want to, or if they ask, sure, I can tell them that, you know, they do exist, the gray market Windows. You can buy them on eBay for $8, but there's a good chance that those are used with stolen credit cards, and people are getting around geo restrictions, and you know, it's not legitimate. There's definitely some issues with it, moral, ethical, and otherwise. Why the hell am I tanking? Sorry, I didn't mean to yell in everybody's ear. I'm not even actually looking at my FPS. It's actually not bad. Like, in the 30s is not bad for a world boss like this. Just full. And mind you, I'm running at 4K. I'm not sure if you guys know that. 4K level 8 settings is my settings. Oh, wow. Wow, that is a good deal. It's a really good deal. I'm going 1440p 144 hertz, by the way, but that is a really good deal. It's from Newegg's account, so yeah, that's definitely 100% legit. So anybody looking for a 1080p FreeSync 144 hertz 27-inch monitor, man, I should have told my customer about this. Don't tell me this uses D-sub too. Okay, it doesn't. Or DVI rather, not D-sub. But yeah, so the i9 video I have to work on tomorrow most likely. I'm actually a little bit in trouble in regards to content schedule. So I busted all this content, put it up. I don't have any content queued. I have it filmed. I have all the testing. I just don't have it put into a video. So I'm probably going to have to do that tomorrow. I'm going to try to do my my paper today. Just to verify, I think you mean Microsoft. Did I say Intel? I meant to say Microsoft, my bad. But yeah, I get it. Yeah, I mean, it's in the problem with me selling computers with licenses from eBay is I work in the cybersecurity space. I work with companies that are Microsoft partners, and it's an ethics thing for me. There's a lot of people I compete with that build and sell computers that go the route of buying keys off eBay. It sucks because there's nothing really wrong about it. There's a lot of theory that those keys are bought with stolen credit cards and stuff like that, right? I actually think they're geo-restricted ones they're ones sold in other countries, and they're not geo-restricted. Because I got news for you. As trying to work with a Microsoft partner, my discount was like 5% if I wanted to become a partner with Microsoft. So, my dog hears something out front. So, that's the thing. Like, even if I did like a bulk license and spent like a couple, like 15, 20 grand on licenses, I'd only get a 10% discount. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of issue of, you know, where's this license actually from? But yeah, and that's the only reason why. I mean, I let my customers, like, I tell them, like, hey, this includes Microsoft Windows. If you're able to get your own license, then we can reduce the price. And the reason why I say that is because there's actually a lot of ways to get Windows. No, they're not a few dollars a piece. So that's kind of a problem. Is I thought they were. And I actually spoke with a partner of ours with the company I work with. And I said, hey, if I would like buy 1,000 Windows licenses through you because you're a partner at cost, or you say mark it up like 10%. He said, dude, it's like if I order 1,000 licenses from Windows, I get a 10% discount off retail. So they're literally Windows 10 Home 64 is like $80 if you buy 1,000 if you're a Microsoft partner. So that's just how it is. You like bulk licensing changed a while ago, especially with 10, and you know, becoming a Microsoft partner and buying Windows licenses, there's no big discounting like there used to be for system volume. It's not like that anymore with 10, and it kind of sucks. Yeah, so you have to become a partner of Microsoft to buy licenses to resell. Okay, and it's not hard. I did inquire about putting the application in because I want to see what kind of deal I can get, but then there's a conflict of interest. But yeah, that's the problem. Is if you're buying licenses. Yeah, if you're buying licenses for purpose of resell, it's a lot different, unfortunately. If you're buying it for internal use, I believe is when you can get a big discount. But not for reselling purposes, I think is where the difference is. I'll double check, but that's the information I got before, so. Yes, it was. Nothing. I'm reading something real quick. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Well, I think I'm going to cut the stream for now, guys. Just because I've been streaming for over 2 hours. And I think my dog wants to go out pretty soon, go to the bathroom. So, definitely good interaction today. A lot of people tuned in. I think we had as many as like a dozen people or so watching. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned. I did a couple videos hopefully coming soon. I may take a little bit of time off. But stay tuned. And if you do like this long stream, hit that, that button. If you didn't, regrettably, I guess you can hit the, that button. I think there might be some stuff you can buy in the description. That Amazon gives me a little bit. If you use that link, that helps me. But you guys probably have all sorts of content creators that you guys like. But as always, this is Steve from PC Budget Solutions, and I'll see you later on down the road.